going to open this to start the episode because I really want to drink it.
Okay.
That wasn't a very good crack.
No, it was kind of sad.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. I needed that.
Oh, you want
You
me
want
to have
some?
Right
No,
off.
I'm offering.
Right off rip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the rip. Yeah, I feel like I gotta be careful how I sit with these shorts. They're gonna like look down.
Garrett
Gonna be able to
penny
see-
shot?
they-
That's crazy.
That would be bad. Hey guys,
Hey guys.
we're back. Welcome to the White Guys podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your boys.
It hasn't been a while, but it feels like it's been a while for us.
It's been a while for us because we haven't filmed in a while. So it has been a while.
Final season is a killer.
Yeah, literally.
Mm.
Yeah.
Today,
We're
we're talking about chicken jockey. You're bad. We're talking about the
I am
Minecraft movie.
Steve.
We're talking about the Minecraft movie.
Okay, ready? Let's try that again.
Again?
Yeah, go.
Chicken jockey.
I am Steve.
The Nether.
Flint and Steel.
Release.
I can't think of any more.
I can't think of
I think
any more
that's all
either.
of them.
That's all of
the
them.
main ones.
Yeah.
We probably forgot a really major one, not gonna lie.
Yeah, probably.
Oh well. Yeah, we're talking about the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
We watched it like
2 weeks ago.
I
We
think.
watched it like
the
when
day
it.
after it came
Yeah,
out.
the day after it came out.
The day after it released in theaters, we went and saw it with Micah.
Yeah. Micah Vrugi.
Micah Frugi.
Micah shout out.
Yeah.
And
Micah
Abby
shout
shout out, because why not?
out. It was great.
It was actually like.
If you guys have been like on
Good.
any platform recently, you've probably seen the videos of people like
If you've been anywhere but under a rock.
yeah, if you've like been on the internet, you've probably seen the videos of people like throwing popcorn and stuff. Funny
Or
story.
detonating fireworks.
Yeah, literally detonating fireworks in theaters. We were in a theater. So we were at a theater in a small town called Leduc, which is
It's like a city.
it's a city technically. It's a really
small
city.
city.
And they like great best theater in like
It's
all of
it's
Alberta.
so nice.
The
yeah.
popcorn is 10 out of 10. Like
Mhm.
literally the best popcorn around. Shout out Leduc Cinemas
Yes.
if you guys ever get the chance.
Sponsor us
Yes, please.
with your popcorn.
Wait, that would be so good.
If we had a Patreon, we would totally watch a movie with Leduc Cinema popcorn.
Yeah, we would.
If you sponsored us.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, anyway, we were there and like the Minecraft movie had just come out and it was
Mhm.
like quite popular, so they had 2 theaters dedicated to the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
So I got there super early and him and Micah both showed up a little bit later.
Yeah.
And I sat down and there was so many little children around me that were already going like chicken jock. They were all doing the memes already.
It was bad. When I
And
got
they
there
hadn't
too.
even got there. So then when they got there and they sat in the seat while I went and got popcorn, like the kids kept doing the same thing and it was like really bad.
It was really bad.
So then we were like, we're not sitting in here.
We can't abide by this.
We can't live like this. we can't live out the memes. That's
Yeah.
not why we're here.
That's not
We're
why
here
we're here.
to analyze.
Yeah.
No.
To
And
critically
to
break down this movie to understand whether it's masterpiece or mid.
Mid or masterpiece.
Yeah,
That's
mid
kinda
or
good.
masterpiece.
Yeah, so we left
Yeah.
and went to the like overflow theater,
Yeah, that's
which was perfect. It was
yeah,
silent.
it was really nice.
we were able
the
to
only
like,
talking was mine.
Yeah, the only talking was literally us. But we weren't very loud. We weren't the guys going
Chicken
jock
jockey!
and then like screaming. We were the guys that were just like
Chicken jockey.
to ourselves. Or they would say a joke about like I don't even know, Steve
I don't know.
saying something funny.
Crafting table.
Crafting table or whatever.
Lava chicken.
Yeah. Steve's lava chicken. Yeah. And we would just kind of do it in ourselves. Or like the Technoblade reference. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Anyway, I just thought we'd start off with a little story time about our
Experiences
at the theater. The
Mhm,
theater
mhm.
experience.
Yeah.
movies are meant to be watched in the theater.
Yeah, there's so much fun in the
They're
theater.
so much better in the theater. Go watch movies in the theater.
Literally.
Like, actually, it's infinitely better.
So,
All right, so the
I guess,
Minecraft
yeah,
movie.
let's just start.
So Steve yearns for the mines.
That's exactly where I was going to start.
Yes! Steve
yearns for the mines.
He says that like 3 times in the first 10 minutes.
He's like, I mean, you guys have seen the clip. He's like a little boy and he goes there and the old guy is like, no! And he chases him away.
Because there's no kids allowed in the mines. That would be bad.
Yeah. And then Steve grows up.
And then he comes back and the guy's the same age. Like,
And is still really mad for some reason.
Mad and also really old.
Yeah,
like,
he hasn't aged a day.
It's really strange.
Yeah. I would not, like, if I was blessed with eternal life, I would not want to be immortal
decrepit.
when I'm decrepit. I think it'd be better if I was, like, middle-aged. I guess, like, 20-something would probably be ideal.
Like, right now. Like, you in this.
I don't know. Sure.
You right now.
2021.
Anyway, so
this guy's
he makes
not
it
even
in,
20.
and when he gets to the mines, he starts mining, and he finds this little cubey thing.
The orb.
Except
even though it's not an orb, it's a cube.
Yeah, it's a cube. It looks like the Tesseract.
Yeah, it looks exactly like the Tesseract, but it's like slotted into this holder.
Yeah, he puts it in this little thingy.
It's so like LED standy that you would have in like your room. Do you know what I mean by that? No. It's like an acrylic LED standy. Someone's got to know what I'm talking about by that.
I don't know. And so he puts the thing in the thing, and then
a portal
opens to the overworld. And he steps through and discovers Minecraft. Like IRL Minecraft. It's incredible.
Yeah. And there's a pink sheep. Legendary drop.
Yeah, legendary pink sheep. There's a dog. He trains a dog named Derek.
Dennis.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
And then he just kind of explores for a while, and then he finds the Nether portal.
The Nether.
And this is where he says the flint and steel line.
Oh my gosh. This episode's gonna be abhorrent.
This episode's gonna be so fun.
We're gonna look back on it and just die
cringe.
inside.
So this is where he says flint and steel, and then he lights the Nether portal and steps through, and then he goes
the Nether.
And then he sees like all the piglins or whatever.
Yeah, and Malgosha.
Malgosha, the big lady piglin.
Yeah, she's got the hunchback of hunchbacks.
Yeah, it's because she's made of squares.
Yeah, but
So
the
the
villagers
hunchback
don't
looks a
have
lot bad.
hunchbacks.
Well, yeah, because they're villagers.
Piglins don't
Do you
usually
even
have
play
hunchbacks.
Yeah, I think most of like that character is actually from the Minecraft Legends game, which is like
irrelevant.
A little bit. Yeah.
A lot, actually.
But I think a lot of the game is more based off of Minecraft Legends, just because it's like generally a more interesting story.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, but it's
Do you mean like Minecraft story mode?
No.
I'm surprised they didn't adapt that, because I've heard
I've heard that was an idea.
Really good.
It is pretty good. It's on Netflix. You can play it on Netflix.
Wow.
I remember when that game came out and all the like.
Comment if you want to see Minecraft story mode on the podcast.
Oh my gosh. Can we do Minecraft? That would be incredible. Guys, that might have to happen. I'm not going to lie.
Comment if you want
comment
that.
if you want Minecraft Legends, because that
story
would be
mode,
so sick.
not Legends.
I mean Minecraft story mode.
Yeah.
Anyway. So then we cut away because he gets captured by the piglins, whatever.
No, don't they like... He's like, Dennis, go.
Oh, yeah. Well, he releases Dennis, and Dennis runs.
To take like, the orb back to the overworld.
Malgosha can't get the orb because then she'll go to the real world and kill everyone or something. You know. Like
realistically, though, like, I'm sorry. The United States military versus Malgosha, she's done.
Yeah, the piglins are kind of stupid.
They're really stupid.
Big Chungus. General Chungus.
Like,
he's an idiot.
Yeah.
We'll get to him.
Yeah,
we haven't reached that point yet.
Yeah. So, basically, he gives Dennis the orb in a bag, and Dennis runs back through the portal to the overworld, and then through that portal to the real world, and goes back to his house and puts it under his bed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. and it like splits.
Yeah.
Because it's like a tesseract in a little holder.
In a little holder.
Yeah.
And it splits so that they're not.
It
closes the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then
Smash cut to Garrett, the garbage man something.
Garrett the garbage man.
I can't remember his last name. I was talking to my brother on the phone about it, and every time he mentioned that character, he's like, Garrett the garbage man, whatever his last name is.
Garrett the garbage man, last name.
Last name.
Yeah, so we cut to him. He owns this.
Oh, that's tough.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, let's chill.
Oh.
Okay.
I lost the cover. That's
Did you
better.
just kiss it?
No, I didn't kiss it. I've never kissed a mic in my life. That's false. Yeah, Garrett the garbage man. We cut to him. He owns like a video game store.
It's like a retro video game store. He used to be like the best player at like
the best player at the game.
It's a parody of Streets of Rage and or Fatal Fury. Fatal
Fantasy?
No.
I don't know.
Final Fight. It's a parody of Final Fight or Streets of Rage, which I doubt anyone watching this video knows.
Right, yeah.
But that's
that one. I know that one.
But that's what it's like a spin on. And basically, he's so good at this 2-player game that he played it solo and was just the best at it.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really good.
Yeah,
but now he's washed up.
Yeah, now he's like old and kind of still dwells on.
I mean, he's still like good at it. He's just like
it just
he
doesn't
have a life.
Anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
Like he's still just as good, if not better. He's just a loser now.
Yeah,
because he's old and still.
And it's not even like honestly, he's not even that bad. It's just his shop isn't doing well.
Yeah, it's true.
Like he's realistically, he's not. To me, he's not that much of a loser. It's just like
true.
His shop isn't doing well. He's used to be
cool.
really
he's
good.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, like he's kind of cool. He's kind of funny. He's
He's Jason Momoa.
Yeah, he's Jason Momoa.
Anyway, so we cut to him. We learn about his backstory, and then he like goes to this auction thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, and at this auction, they have a bunch of like cameos of like Minecraft YouTubers.
Okay, these cameos are awful.
They're really bad. They're like the worst
so
actors
bad.
I think I've ever seen on screen.
Well, like yes,
also,
that's
a bit of a weird place to put the cameos.
Yeah, and none of them get even like a line. Like you just see them. It's very
all they do is like bid. Like they just say I think Dan TDM has a couple lines.
I don't believe you.
And then they just kind of go with the like, they raise their hand to make bids or say me.
Yeah, because they go to like a what is that called?
Storage unit.
Yeah, a storage unit auction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's Dan TDM, Mumbo Jumbo, and then 2 other ones that I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know who they were, but
the only other 2 YouTubers who aren't pedophiles.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway. Anyway, then smash cut to the little kid.
Well, no, he like Garrett buys.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, he tries to buy some retro game that's worth $1 million, and then like nothing. It's
nothing
just setting up more that he's a loser.
Well, no, because isn't the.
Oh yeah, he
there?
Finds the thing in there.
That's
true.
The cube is there, and he
How
finds
did it get there.
No
one knows. No.
He takes like he buys this unit, and like you said, that happens, and he finds the orb, and then he's like driving home as. Oh my gosh, I don't know the main character's name.
Yeah, I don't know his name either. The little kid.
Little guy. And, okay, I know her name probably isn't Nancy, but she looks like a Nancy.
Yeah, like Nancy from Stranger Things.
Literally exactly like
she
Nancy
doesn't really look
Things.
at all like Nancy from
No,
Stranger
she
Things.
doesn't.
She just gives off the same vibe.
Yeah. So they're driving.
So the little guy and Nancy are driving by. They see him like on the side of the road.
Yeah, because Garrett's car breaks down. It's I think it's a nice car. If I remember it correctly, it's a nice car.
It's like a retro car.
He pulls off pink really well.
He does pull off pink.
Jason Momoa.
That pink jacket looks really good on him.
Sweet.
It
even has like all the
frills.
Yeah, the frills, and it looks good.
And it still looks good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's a killer, man.
Costume designer, whoever designed the costume for Jason Momoa. You did good.
Yeah.
So then we cut to these other people, and Nancy is like because both of their parents are dead or something.
Yeah.
Nancy's like an older sister. She's like early 20s or something. I don't really know. It's not very clear.
Yeah.
And she just got a job in this small town, and the little guy,
he's like in junior. Is he in
He's
junior?
in
high? He might even
school.
be in elementary.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
in like
know.
elementary school. And there's this
He's
scene-
young.
They really shove down the whole like creativity thing, because that's kind of Minecraft's
Yeah,
thing.
that's Minecraft's thing.
So that's kind of who he's like the emblem of creativity in the film.
mm-hmm.
Is like he goes to school, he gets sent to school while she goes to work or whatever, and he
She
like
works
designs
at, like-
a working jetpack.
Yeah, in like an afternoon.
In like sitting
he
in
like
science class.
It's actually so funny.
And then all the students are like, that would never work. And
Yeah,
he's like,
he's
oh
like-
yeah, bet. And then he goes and builds it.
Yeah, he's like the precocious young man stereotype cranked up to literally 11.
Yeah, it's wild.
Where they're like, I could build a jetpack, and they're like, no, you couldn't, and then he just like does.
Yeah, and then he just did it.
And then like
Except
these
then-
bullies,
Yeah, they like,
they pluck a wire,
and it goes a little haywire, and it
a
like,
little haywire. It like bombs the city's main source of income.
which is a potato chip factory.
Yeah.
It bombs like the whatever the big
The
thing-
statue,
the statue on the top of the building is, like knocks it over.
and it falls down the
Yeah.
mountain into the lake.
And then
While the sister is like there
yeah,
getting her job.
exactly. And then he gets sent to the principal's office, and then because on his way to school he stopped at the retro game store and met Garrett.
Oh,
He
yeah.
called Garrett in pretending he was like his uncle or something.
Yeah.
And
I
Garrett
forgot
came
about
and
that.
picked him up from school.
That was so random.
Like the quickest connections, like I guess this movie moves at a pace of like 200%. Like
Yeah.
this pace is so fast, and I mean it works. Like
Yeah,
they
it
got
works.
him anyway. They got
Yeah.
the two characters together, and then he comes to the retro game store for a second time and is just
Mhm.
kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
And then he finds the orb.
Orb.
The orb.
B- b-
And he like puts it together and they create the portal.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Don't they?
Well, I don't know. I think they make the orb when they're in the cave again later. That's how they get there.
Oh yeah, because they pull out the like instruction thing that says,
Yeah, that
like,
says do not
do
ever
not open, even if you're have a really old store that's really not doing well and there are lots of treasures in this new place. Don't ever put the two things together. It's like really oddly specific.
It's so funny. It's
really,
so funny.
It's very
Um,
child movie-esque,
But it's like
children's movie.
yeah, you're right.
So,
it is. But
yeah.
it's so funny.
So then they're like, we need to go to the cave. And then they go back and they find Nancy and then the like landlord lady.
She's crazy.
She's so crazy. She's so funny though.
She has like a petting zoo
Yeah, like a
like in her vehicle at all times. She
Yeah.
has like just a llama.
giraffes like sticking out their heads out the window.
Yeah, it's so weird. She really got the side hustles down.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, then they go to the cave. No more old man.
No, he's gone. He died.
He died.
His
dead and buried.
immortality ran out.
Yeah, no one to stop the children from going into the mines.
No, I like to think that the old man was actually just a figment of Steve's imagination. He like it's an apparition.
An apparition.
An apparition.
What if
Steve
Steve
just-
just like killed him? What if Dennis killed him on the way out and they just didn't show that?
That would be crazy. But that's just a theory. Anyway. Wrong.
So they go to
wrong
the
thing.
overworld together.
Yeah, they all four of them. Also, when they go back to Nancy like discovers that her little guy was the guy who did the jetpack thing.
And that
And
he
she's
just
like-
like invited a stranger to like pick him up from school.
Yeah, it's true. But she's like, you're gonna get me fired. But like, in what way, in what world are they gonna like trace that back to him and like fire her for that?
Yeah, I don't
For
know.
the thing her brother built.
Bro's gonna like either be drafted into the military on some level because he's like a genius,
Genius child.
or he's gonna be
No, he's not a genius. He's
detained.
not a genius. He's creative. So they go to the
What?
overworld. So they go to the overworld and they're like, "Buh," and then
they see the sheep again,
Yeah, they see the pink sheep again. And they just kind of hang out for a little bit, and then it gets dark.
and it becomes night.
You know what happens in the nighttime in Minecraft.
a ton of zombies and skeletons.
They get absolutely attacked.
The spider jockeys are attacking. The creepers
the
are
spider
around.
jockeys, the creepers.
The zombies.
Jason Momoa gets blown up by a creeper at one point.
Yeah.
And kind of goes flying.
Although the creepers in this movie are weird because they only like react if somebody hits them.
True. Which is strange.
I will say though, the like creature designs look really good.
Yeah, everyone complained about the way like the overworld looked when the trailer dropped, but like you get kind of invested and everything looks like really good.
It does look really good.
The creepers look sick.
They look so cool.
The
and they're like
zombies are pretty cool.
The zombies are cool. The creepers are like hollow, which is really cool.
It's a really interesting design choice that just like I wouldn't have thought of, but it looks so good on
really
screen.
Good.
The skeletons look so sick.
Yeah.
Even the spiders are like gorgeous.
The spiders are genuinely terrifying. Like it really puts in perspective how like massive they actually are.
Yeah.
And
you forget when you play the game how terrifying that would actually be.
Yeah.
A skeleton riding a giant spider that's like
coming
the size of
ya.
you.
It's like dog sized.
Yeah,
more than dog sized. Then they like, do they find a house or do they build a house?
The little guy builds it because he discovers the whole building mechanics in this world.
Yeah,
and he builds the house.
He just like punches something and like.
Yeah, he just kind of like punches a tree, you know, as you do in Minecraft.
You do in Minecraft.
And he discovers that he can like build things, and he builds this castle thing.
Yeah.
And they all end up inside of it, but then the creeper blows it up, and the monsters come in, and they come up the stairs to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the main characters
and then they're in the corner,
they're
terrified
gonna
of all the
murdered.
Zombies. And then the guy, Jack Black, shows up.
Jack Black shows up.
And
Lil Boo Thang starts playing.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
Was unbelievable. I could not believe when Little Boo Thang happened.
Why was that? While he fought?
Yeah. Also,
Boo Thang.
So, the fight scenes are like very visceral.
Yeah, a little bit. The zombies like.
It's nasty.
It's kind of crazy at how much they managed to put in this kids movie.
Yeah, like they snap zombies' necks like 180 degrees. They like rip their arms off and hit them with it, but their arms still have like arm physics.
Yeah.
It's like kind of disturbing. It's weird, yeah.
It's weird. But yeah, Steve beats up like 5 zombies, and then they're like, "Who are you?" And he goes,
am Steve.
Yes, and then he does his like Jack Black line.
And he does like a power move as the sun comes back up and like burns all the zombies. He's so cool. Oh my gosh, he's so cool
in this movie. Jack Black, oh, what a legend.
We can explain how he escaped.
Yeah, I was going to say, you might be wondering, but wait. White guys. Jack Black was captured and stuck in the Nether, but
Nether.
No.
Actually,
lovely viewer.
No.
Actually, he was let go by Malgosha because one of the piglins or something realized that the portal opened, and she was like, "If you bring me," and she pretended that she had Dennis captured,
and because he left his collar
behind. So she like waves it in Jack Black's face and is like, "I'll give you Dennis if you bring me the orb." And he's like, "Okay." And then he goes to the overworld with plans to bring Malgosha the orb.
The orb. Stop
what?
Okay. So then they go to the village.
What did I do? Yeah, then they go to the village. The village looks so sick. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
every
it does
like
look
structure
really good.
in the village looks so sick. Yeah, Jack Black brings them to the village. The villagers also look really sick, and I learned that the villagers, everything except their head is practical. Like it's like a suit.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is crazy because you wouldn't tell. You can't tell.
Yeah.
You'd assume that the full villager was CGI, but only the head was CGI. There's also a side story where one of the villagers goes through the Nether portal back to the real world and falls in love with the principal.
Yeah.
And it's
who's like
strange.
Divorced her husband like relatively recently.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago or something. She complains about it, and then she falls in love with this villager.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's a weird side plot, but it's kind of funny.
It's
Every time
so
they cut back
funny.
to it, it's
Oh
so
my goodness.
random. And they're just like eating dinner or something. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh.
Her, like, the shot of her hitting him with her car is so funny.
It's so funny.
Watching him, like, the villagers don't have arms. Like, they have arms, but they don't have arms.
And she gets out of her car and she's like, oh, not again. And she like runs over to him.
Who is she hit?
I don't know, man.
She's like, I know what you did last summer.
Yeah.
The hook-handed man is after her.
Yeah. Anyway, they go to the village, and this is where we get the Technoblade scene.
Yes.
Right as they come in. It was actually kind of awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
They're walking into the village, and he's like pointing stuff out, and then a little pig walks across the screen with the Technoblade crown on, and they look at it, and the little guy's like, is he like the king or something? And Jack Black's like, no, he's a legend. Yes. I shed a little tear in the theater.
Did ya?
No, but I almost did. Me and Micah, Owen doesn't watch Minecraft as much, but me and Micah like fanboyed for a second there. We
did.
were like, oh, because it's like actually such
excited.
a cool way to honor him.
It is really cool.
It's pretty sick. Yeah.
Again, the CGI looks so good.
It does.
It's kind of crazy. Like, they kind of every single thing in the world of the overworld gives me like plushy vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I could have a plushie of those.
I could plushicize that.
Yeah.
Plushify.
I like plushicize. That's funny.
So while they're in the village, Nancy and the landlord lady.
I think her name's like Dawn.
That sounds right.
I think so.
Donna?
Dawn? I don't know.
Dawn? We're going to call her Dawn.
Sure.
Nancy and Dawn go and they're trying to find, like, they're doing the, like, trading, the villager trading thing. They're trying to find one of the ones with glasses so they can get the, like, map to the, whatever. Because Steve
what do they need the map to?
To the Woodland Mansion. Because Steve has put in the Woodland Mansion the other piece of the orb thing. Because at some point they dropped it and it broke.
Oh,
so they have the Tesseract,
it was
but they
in
need
the
the
night
sleeve.
scene. The night scene.
Yeah, in the night scene, while Jason Momoa explodes or something, he drops the orb and the sleeve part
shatters.
breaks.
The Earth crystal.
Yeah, the Tesseract is fine, but the sleeve part shatters.
Yeah,
but luckily,
I forgot about that.
Steve has extras.
Yeah.
So, but they're just in the Woodland
the
Mansion.
Vindicators have extras.
That's true. That's true.
Are they Vindicators? Wardens? I don't know. Not Wardens. Vindicators? Is that right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
The
Forgot
Illagers.
Warden would be like
the warden.
Like
is
I know what the warden
okay,
is, but like, isn't that like a better name than Vindicator?
I don't know what Vindicator means.
To vindicate. To justify? Question mark.
Okay. Okay. So
they get attacked.
Yeah, they get attacked.
Or wait,
piglins.
No, sorry.
Wait.
This is a crafting table. We missed that.
This is a crafting table. And then little guy
Ender
comes
pearl.
and like, yes, Ender pearl.
Ender pearl.
That is an Ender pearl. And then Jason Momoa wastes the only end. That doesn't really.
He
matter.
like freaks out too.
Yeah,
he's
like, what is this? This is useless. Throws it back, and then he teleports, and he's like, ah! That's so funny.
It is really funny.
Warning to your ears, I guess that might hurt.
Yeah, that was a lot.
That was loud. And then Jason Momoa discovers that also at the Woodland Mansion, in a mine, there's like treasure, tons and tons and tons of diamonds.
Yes,
that he could use to revitalize his store.
Yeah. Okay, and I have to say, I empathize with him. You know, like he's not
he's in the wrong.
No, he's not. Like he's not your trademark greedy for the sake of being greedy guy. It's like his livelihood is on the edge of it is crumbling. He has an eviction
He's literally
notice.
A loser.
Yeah, like he needs it. So it feels less like
greedy.
Obviously he's still being selfish, but it's you know
like justified a little bit.
Yeah. Also, Sorry, were you gonna say
No,
something?
go for it.
The crafting tables in the movie, I wish they worked like that in the game,
Yeah.
where you could
kinda.
just build anything.
Yeah. Because, you can put any, like, number of things on the table because they're trying to emphasize the creativity. And you can turn it into something. So,
Yeah,
like,
he makes like
the little guy uses, like, a little,
rubber band.
he uses a bunch of stuff from his pockets, but one of them is,
Some
like, a hash
gum.
brown.
Yeah, he literally does. That's true.
Because he pulls because if you didn't know, the guy who directed this movie is also the guy who directed Napoleon Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of Napoleon Dynamite's things is that he has like a pocket full of hash
Cursed
browns. Like
objects.
just hash browns.
Just hash
like
browns.
at all times. So that he can just pull it out and eat it. So that was like a nod to Napoleon Dynamite that he like pulled it out. And Jason Momoa looked at him and was like, "You just have like pockets of those things?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Wow.
It's just a little nod. It's kind of cool. Sorry, fun fact.
No, it's fine. Yeah, the crafting tables are so cool.
True.
And then Malgosha's Legion attacks.
Yeah, because she's like, Steve's not gonna.
Why can they like survive in the sun?
Because they have the strength potions.
Right.
Malgosha gives them strength potions, and then they can survive being zombified. So they come and they attack. And they attack the village. They kill a bunch of villagers.
It's pretty brutal.
It's pretty sick.
It's very raw.
Very visceral, very raw. Yeah. The group gets split up. So Steve, Garrett, and little guy go.
Is his name Lucas?
No, it's not Lucas.
What
They
is
go
it
one
then?
way and like
Wesley?
off on their own. Because Steve and Garrett come up with this, Jason Momoa, they make a deal that they're going to stop at the mine so that Jason Momoa can get all the diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Steve agrees for some reason. There's probably
There's like
underlying
blackmail
factor, but
involved.
I don't remember. Yeah, I think there's blackmail involved.
I can't remember.
I don't remember what the
said
blackmail is, though.
Yeah,
No,
I can't remember.
But anyway, they go off on their own, and then
The
Nancy
other
and
two-
Donna go off on their own.
Yeah.
They find the map, and then they don't find the map. Sorry, they go into the woods and they find Dennis.
Yeah, they find Dennis.
They find Dennis, and
Who's-
they retame Dennis.
Yeah, because he went wild because no
wild.
collar. LOL.
Yeah. So they retame Dennis, and then Dennis brings them to the Woodland Mansion, and we don't see them until we are at the Woodland Mansion.
Yeah. The mine.
Yeah. Well, there's an air chase.
Oh yeah, the air chase. So they're like, basically, Steve gives them both elytras.
Yeah.
And they're like flying away.
Yeah.
While the ghasts follow them with like piglins on the.
Yeah, it's like an air. It's like. Yeah.
You can't. I don't know what the word would be.
It's like Top Gun,
If-
but with like elytras and ghasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool.
It was kind of sick.
all the like this movie uses its budget so well. Everything
so
looks
fun.
so good.
Everything is so fun.
and it's
like,
so fun.
oh, that although there's a scene where Jason Momoa and Steve are on one elytra, and then they have to squeeze through this really small hole, so they adopt like a 69 pose.
Oh, you just came out and said it.
And then
I was gonna
they
try and find a
squeeze
way
right
around
through
that.
the hole, and then
They squeeze their little cheeks in between.
yeah, they squeeze. Yeah, their little cheeks
Caden,
in
if you're
between.
watching, you get that reference.
Yeah,
It's
and they get through the little hole, and then they find little guy. They meet back up with little guy. They're all falling
little
together.
Guy? Oh yeah, little guy.
And
Yeah.
then they're all falling together, and this is where you get the water release.
Release.
And he does the water bucket clutch.
Yeah.
Although before that, you get the little like the two pandas, and they do the like
Oh
the mating
yeah,
thing
yeah,
from
yeah,
Minecraft, where they like the little hearts appear, and the little baby just spawns.
Yeah.
And then
They just share a meal together. We were talking about like how disturbing it would be if you just like
if that's all it took,
had a meal with a girl.
imagine
it
going
was
on your
just
first
over.
date. You guys both just like bite into like a piece of bread. Two little hearts appear, and then a child just spawns
It doesn't even
in.
have to be like the same piece of bread. You're just
Yeah.
like in proximity to one another.
Literally
Oh
just
my
like
gosh.
in the middle of like a public square, you just happen to eat a piece of bread next to a woman,
It's
and just
over.
a baby appears. Anyway,
Thank God that's not
Water
how
bucket,
reproduction
release!
works. Release.
Release. And then they land in the water.
Yep.
As one does.
Yeah.
And then they go into the mine. It's pretty sick.
There's like a grillion creepers down there.
Creepers. They find all the diamonds.
Steve has a creeper farm, which like
yeah, which is a cool
in
nod.
what world?
What?
No, I don't know. Why do you need a creeper farm?
Because they give you gunpowder for rockets.
Right.
For elytra.
Right.
Yeah.
But like
and paper.
they're fireworks, aren't they? Not.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, firework rockets.
But like in like a pen?
Yeah, it's
You
actually
keep
pretty
them in a
accurate to
pen.
how you build a creeper farm.
That's what it looks like?
Kind of. It's just like a big concrete like box that you build where they spawn, and then
Do you
there's
have
a way to like
spawner?
no, it's just dark enough that they spawn, and then there's a way to like draw them into the center so they fall down, and then you kill them with your sword or whatever. So this is his creeper farm, and they're on a rail and they're being chased by the big scary zombie.
He's
The big scary piglin.
Yeah,
They're being chased.
does he have a
and they're
name?
on
Do they name him?
Nah, big guy.
Big guy.
Big guy. They're being chased by this big guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
And they're on rails. It's actually a pretty cool scene again because they're like flying through the mines on the rail,
Yeah.
and then like they run out of powered rails, so they like stop for a second,
Mm-hmm.
and then Jason Momoa has to get out and like push while they're being chased by big guy,
By big
and
guy.
then he hops in. They make it to the powered rail right in time and they hit one of the creepers so that the creepers all blow up.
Yeah, and like
and they blow
destroy
up
big guy.
Yeah, and then they fly through the thing, and then I believe the railway takes them all the way to the Woodland Mansion,
Mm-hmm.
and then they pop out at the Woodland Mansion.
Yeah.
At which point, they go in.
Yeah,
to the
they like
Woodland
come up
Mansion.
with a couple plans.
Yeah,
They don't
and then they just
matter.
go in.
Yeah, they just go in.
They just go in. They try to sneak around, and it fails.
Yeah.
Actually, they do sneak around because they send a little guy upstairs to
Upstairs.
get the like item that they need. And
Yeah.
then Jason Momoa and Steve act as a distraction for all of the illagers or whatever.
Vindicators?
Illagers.
They're called illagers.
Yeah, because they're villagers, but ill and scary.
That's actually what they're called,
Yeah.
not pillagers.
No, pillagers are a different thing.
They're called illagers.
Yeah. Pillagers are the ones that come and kill you and then you do raids. So they go.
I'm not familiar with the
they
Minecraft
go in,
lore.
and then Jason Momoa and Steve get like captured and brought to the like boxing ring,
yeah,
and then
the underground.
the underground boxing ring, which is an actual room in the Woodland Mansion. Like you can find that in Minecraft. But they end up there, and Jason Momoa gets put in a corner, and then there's a little chicken on the other side, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is gonna be easy. I can fight a chicken." And then a crate comes and drops a zombie on the chicken, and then we
Baby
get
zombie.
chicken
Chicken
jockey, chicken jockey.
Chicken jockey.
This is the scene where everyone goes, yeah, and then just blows up
They just
fireworks in the
freak out.
airport, or I
The
mean in
airport.
in the movie theater, not the airport. That would be worse. I think
That would be so much worse.
That would be a lot worse.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The animation on the chicken jockey is unbelievable to me.
It's so funny.
It's so like good.
I love it.
I'm
Chicken jockey.
chicken jockey. I'm appalled at the quality, in a good way.
Yeah, it was good.
And then little guy trips off the Percocet when the Enderman stares at him. And
He fights an Enderman.
he
and
does
kills him.
like easily.
Yeah, it doesn't look like much of a problem for him. To
yeah,
be honest.
he's pretty cool like
he
that.
stabs the Enderman a few times.
Yeah. The Enderman's so mean to him though.
Yeah, he is. And Jason Momoa actually doesn't really kill the zombie. He kind of gets mollywopped by the zombie. The chicken jockey. And Steve just kind of laughs at him until Steve gets out, and then Steve kills the zombie.
Yeah.
And then they escape because they see that he got the thing, and they run out of the Woodland Mansion, and this is where they meet with Nancy and Donna again. They appear.
And then they get cornered by the More ghasts and piglins.
Yeah, more gas on this little bridge.
Yeah.
And they run across the bridge, and then they jump onto one of the ghasts from the bridge.
Right.
They like knock the piglin off, and then
Garrett stays behind.
And
Why?
gets blowed up.
Why?
It's because someone had to light the TNT or something. And then he gets blowed up.
And he dies
Or I just spat
forever.
on the mic. Whoopsies.
And he dies forever. Bye-bye.
Yeah, he dies forever. He's dead.
Garrett's dead forever.
That's the end of Garrett. It's like in the fourth Resident Evil movie when all of the clones die, but it's actually just Garrett. Just Garrett dies.
And it doesn't matter. He's gone.
And it doesn't matter. He's gone.
He's never coming back.
That plot line is over.
That plot line's over. He's gone.
That plot line doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's gone.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
What happens?
Yeah.
They take the gas back to like Steve's base, and they realize that Malgosha is like gonna bring all of the piglins out.
Mm-hmm.
So they go back to the village. They like prepare. They all make like diamond armor.
First they mine.
Oh!
And then they craft.
They go to like a mushroom house that Donna built.
Yeah.
And then Steve's like, first we mine, then we craft.
Let's
Minecraft.
So they do that.
Icon.
They make like a grillion iron
Swords
golems.
oh, it's true.
And then they make like a special one.
Yeah, that's one with like speed boots or something.
Yeah. Boots of Hermes. Superman.
Super iron golem.
Super iron golem.
Yep. And then the iron golems fight all the piglins.
Yeah, the speedy one fights another big guy.
Yeah, another big guy. Just kind of beats him up. And it's a great
That scene is like cool, but like
it feels like Endgame.
Yeah.
Avengers assemble. Except it's all iron golems.
Yeah.
They're like,
so no one can say that.
Yeah, no one can say Avengers because it's just iron golems.
The like speedy one like bashes the big guy into the air and then like slams him back down. But it's kind of like it lacks impact. It lacks that like final attack.
Final attack. Because that's not the end. The end is when Jack Black like fights Malgosha.
Malgosha kills so many children in this movie. Can I just say that?
True. So the reason that the piglins can like live in the overworld is because they stole the orb, and then the orb is like
they put it in like a little Eye of Sauron.
Exactly, it's like Eye of Sauron above the Nether portal.
Yeah.
So little guy runs up, throws an Ender Pearl, gets up to the top, and then gets like blown up by a gas and falls back down.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, Garrett comes flying in with an elytra and like catches him. And Garrett's not actually dead. It's not like Resident Evil 4 where it's
actually not.
It's actually not because they're still alive. It's like Resident Evil 5 when they reveal that clones do still exist.
Yeah.
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 Except it's a Garrett that still exists.
Right.
Because he's not
He
dead.
actually didn't die.
Yeah, he actually didn't die. And then
it's not a clone.
Yeah, it's not a clone. It's like the real Garrett.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they get the orb off of the Nether portal.
Are you going to mention the Technoblade clutch thing? Isn't that in this scene?
Technoblade clutch thing? Which Technoblade
like
clutch
when
thing?
the ghast shoots he shoots the little guy, and then he's like falling and it goes for a second shot below it. This is like a thing you commented on in the movie.
Is it?
And you're like, oh my gosh, it's a Technoblade technique.
Is it?
Yeah, you literally...
I don't remember that. I don't remember. I don't know what Owen's talking about. He's probably right. I probably did say something like that.
Guys, I don't know the lore, and I'm leaning on him here, and he doesn't remember.
I'd have to it doesn't matter.
Anyway,
they find the orb. All the piglins become zombified.
Yep.
And then Steve has this incredible interaction with Malgosha.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. It's so stupid. Like there's no world.
So
oh my gosh. He like goes up and she's like zombifies her. She's like dying slowly.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Come closer so that I can tell you something." And he's like, "Are you gonna pull out a knife from behind your back and try to stab me?" And she's like, "No, I would never do that." Then he steps closer and she pulls out a tiny knife and tries to stab him, and he like grabs it. He's like,
he just like doesn't he just like slap it away?
Yeah, he just like slaps her head.
And then he's goes like, to walk away again.
Exactly like that.
Exactly like that.
And then yeah, she goes to do it again. He like, she says like, okay, no, but I actually have something to tell you. And then he's like, oh yeah? And then he steps close again, and she does the same thing. He just slaps it away. And then he steps away, and she's like, wait, but I actually, and he's like, no, you're going to try and stab me with the little knife. And she's like, no, I'm not. And then it like falls from like her hand or something. It's so funny.
No, she goes for the sneak attack.
Yes.
And she throws it like 2 inches. Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Peak comedy.
Yes.
And
That's one thing I will say I really like about this movie. It takes like cliches and does them in a fun way.
It like doesn't take itself seriously at all.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
It's so funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's really good.
Mhm.
And then they all meet back at the IRL world portal, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, let's go through it, I guess. And they're like, all say goodbye to Steve.
Yeah, and they're like, Steve, you should like come and stuff.
Yeah, and then Garrett's like, but Steve, come and help run my
Thingy. My shop.
store. And Steve's like, okay. And
No,
then
he's
he
like,
goes in.
no. And then they leave. And he's like,
Oh yeah.
huh. And then he decides to.
And then he decides to go. Yeah, and then he hops through, meets them there. They take Dennis
Mhm.
with them,
Yeah.
and he becomes like the star of Donna's traveling petting zoo.
Crazy.
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 Yeah, that's the end of the movie there. We
Yeah,
get there's
post-credit
two
scene.
post-credit scenes. One of them
They're
is
so insane.
one of them is the villager, is back to the villager and the like vice principal, and
Yeah, Jennifer Coolidge.
and they're like in her office, and her like ex-husband walks in.
Who's the teacher from the jetpack
Yeah, the teacher
scene.
from the jetpack scene. And he's like, who is this guy? And she's like, baby, I can speak village.